This is another tutorial on Excel, specifically on the rest of the Home tab up top here. We've already discussed the clipboard, the font, and the alignment tabs. And I'm just going to quickly discuss these other options that I use. When you're looking at the number tab, the only one that I really might use is this column. This shows you the different formats. There's different formats that you can use. For instance, date, which would be December 1st. And you can see that this is in a number format instead of a date format. So I'll come up here and we'll change it to, for instance, a short date. And you can see that I'll change it back to a date. Because inside of these cells are all sorts of different types of formatting that you can do, as you can see here. When you don't want anything real specific, you can go in the general. When it's in a text format, you can do numbers, but it won't actually use it inside of formulas. You can do time, date, currency. There's just different things that you can do. Now, the other thing that you can do is click here and pull up format cells and the number. Many times you can come through and it gives you some other different options that you can do with formatting. So for instance, if I wanted to change it to a number, I can also increase the decimal places, which is something that I will often use. You can click OK and change it to a number. Or format that cell again. Click on number. And it's in number, and if I want actually to have a couple of decimal points, you can see that it'll do that. You can also see that you can format cells here, which is the same type of thing as what we're doing here. This just opens up all the options for formatting. We've also already discussed font and border and alignment. We're discussing number now. In the number one, you can insert a comma or not have a comma. You can see that doesn't have a comma. Or if you want the commas in the 1,000 separators, it'll do it. I like to have that sometimes. The general, again, no specific number format. You can do special types of formats here, like phone number, zip code, etc., social security number, and it will automatically, let's just do this, social security. And you can see that it'll actually do it in a social security format. Just a basic text, it'll treat it as a text even when it's a number in the cell. There's just different options here. You can kind of click through there and see. The ones that I use are general, number, date, text, and that's essentially it. And that's all I'll use in the number. I don't really use the styles in Excel. Cells here, we've already discussed the different things of inserting and deleting. Editing, the one thing that I will use here is a sort and filter. We'll go over to a different document to look at this, because this is where I primarily will use it, is in our water report. So for instance, when we have our water report running, right now they're organized by the way that they're formatted when we do the meter readings. But if I want to do it by the amount of water that was used, I'll select the entire column, come over to sort and filter. I can do largest to smallest. You do want to expand the selection. That will expand and organize the entire sheet as opposed to just that column. If you did continue with just the current selection, it will just organize this column, but you want it to be expanded. So you click sort, and you see it sorted everything. And you can do it in the reverse function as well. Smallest to largest, and sort. You can see that it goes backwards from what we just did. You can do it alphabetically, sort A to Z, then do it by name. And it's expanding, so if you're actually looking at a specific name or a series of names, then you can do it and look at, for instance, care. Organize it that way. And out of the 285 homes, you can quickly pull up build care. Another thing that you could do is do a find and select. And I will do this every once in a while. I'll click on find, and I'm looking at Ozertsky. I'll type that in there. It'll go to that specific cell. If there happen to be more Ozertskys in this document, you click on the find next, but there aren't any other ones. That's the only one. And that's all that's on the Home tab that I really use.